Hello, Capricorn. You guys see how I just popped back up with my face like I never left? I realized I did that with Sagittarius. It was just like, I ain't even say nothing. I just was like, hey, here go my face. But anywho, welcome to your May Soul Session. I'm Marlo. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. We're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' cards. The first cards we have are Betrayal. We have Movement, that keeps coming out for everyone. And we have Anxiety. This is interesting, Capricorn. I'm already seeing you guys are kind of in this middle road between two extremes, that of which everyone in the collective is presently. Because with Betrayal, of course, the card says breach of trust, dishonesty, disloyalty. Movement is fast-paced change, surge of energy, laser focus on intention and actions, alignments. Aligning all resources towards a goal, moving quickly to pursue the best opportunities available. Then we have Anxiety, and it says excessive or persistent worry, fear, unrest, foreboding. Oh, that's the word I got in Leo. And restlessness. I don't know if my autofocus is going to work because okay, it did. Hallelujah. So what it's looking like, I feel like you guys are caught in between two extremes. This movement is really speaking to the present energy that you guys are in, meaning that the call on your life in the month of May is to have swift movement forward, which is something that I've been seeing for every single sign in the month of May. If you've watched any other signs, of course, you've seen me speaking about this crossroads or speaking about the 15th of May. And that's, of course, the day 15th or the 16th, depending on where you live. That's speaking to this lunar eclipse that we're having in accordance with this full moon. So we're pretty much in this liaison phase in between the 30th of April all the way up into the 15th. So everyone's kind of in this weird kind of like existing, not existing kind of space. You know what I mean? But I feel this betrayal is speaking to something that happened in my guides just said self. So, and I mean, I feel like this could be different for all of you. For some of you guys, this is a sense of self-betrayal where you crossed your own boundaries or aligned with something that you knew was out of alignment with you. Well, others of you, this could literally be a betrayal that came by way of someone outside of you. But I feel even with this coming out of April into May, even though this energy may be kind of hovering over you, I feel like the sword of truth that comes through and like clears, the darkness is to know that post the 15th going into Mercury going direct in June in the shadow phase and all this other kind of stuff, is that you guys are going to be moving forward from anything that you're feeling stagnant in at present. But I also see why there is some anxiety because it reminds me of Sagittarius. So if you have that in your chart or if you're a cusper, definitely check it out. You know what I'm saying? But I feel with this anxiety, it's this fear everyone's in because a lot of people have no idea what's happening energetically and not knowing that, from the 30th all the way into the 15th, we're kind of in this blind spot. And what I called it in Sagittarius's reading was the valley of the shadow of death, if you will. So it's more or less we're in this in-between state where people may not be hearing from spirit, or, if you watch tarot, every single tarot reading that you're watching is just not clear, or you felt really motivated about going in a particular direction and suddenly it's like you don't feel that anymore. But I can tell you that's not you. It's not that you're doing something wrong. It's not that you're out of alignment. It's just simply the fact that we're all collectively in this in-between stage. And of course, we know with anxiety, this is me putting my therapist hat on over my witch hat. But anywho, anxiety is, of course, a fear of the future, right? And if I were to look at this betrayal card, what this is saying to me is more or less, you guys are fearing what's to come because of what has been. But what is actually going to happen is positive movement forward. So the next cards that we have from our tea leaf deck, we have Clouds, temporary problems. Exactly, my friend, they are temporary. Then we have Fly, a period of ill health or depression. That is exactly where I feel like my Cappies are. Then we have Pineapple. I love that. And it says reconciliation. So dude, here's the thing. Whatever it is that has happened or has transpired, do I even want to use this deck? So I am in the same energy I was in with freaking Sagittarius, dude. I had usually every time I read, it's like my guys are just like, oh, use that deck, use that deck. But in Sagittarius, I just kept looking at all of them like, which one? Like, which one do you want me to use? I don't know. I kind of feel that way with you guys, but let's go with it. But anywho, there's a reconciliation. I feel the reconciliation that's going to happen. I mean, it can go two different ways, because I guess it's because I've tapped back into the energy of doing love readings on my other channel, She Do Tarot. Subscribe to that if you have not already. I'm just saying. But anyway, I'm picking up a lot of like romantical kind of stuff. But then again, this Mercury retrograde that we're in is all about romantical stuff. There's the potential for second chances with people and reconciliations with people from your past in the event that they come back and they're completely like, I mean, made whole 180, like totally different with you having no hands in it. And then, you know, for the rest of us, it's literally like people coming back and it's like, no, you know, because you're going to see that they're not different. But I feel with this, there can be some sense of betrayal of either you betraying yourself or you feeling betrayed by another person. And there's the potential for reconciliation with that, because there could literally be, I mean, I'll have to dig into that. Sagittarius is on my list of signs that I'm going to do over on She Do. I'm just going to add you guys to the list. And I'm actually going to keep these cards and play this out from a love perspective. You know what I'm saying? But I look at this more or less because we're in a soul session. This more or less would be a reconciliation with yourself to where you're able to integrate these lessons that you've learned over this 7-year karmic cycle. And you're able to, you know, stay firm in your faith to move forward of what it is that you guys are calling into your life. Understand all of this to just be an is not period, and that your is coming. So let's hop into the tarot for you guys. And just letting you know, this is the Osho Zen Tarot. So all of the cards are different. You know what I'm saying? So if you hear me say something and you're like, that's not a tarot card, that's why, you know? So let's see what's going on for my Capricorns in the month of May. If a card doesn't pop out, I'm going to pick it. Okay, thank you. All right. Oh, 3 cards. Wonderful. First card out, we have morality. So I feel like that's okay. I'm going to lean forward to see if my autofocus is going to be nice. Okay, there it is. We have morality. Then we have the Fool in the reverse. I just like switch this up, y'all. So my autofocus just like, it be on some other stuff. Like, it's just like, oh, you just gonna move me? Like, I'm feeling away now. Anywho, oh, wow. Then we have past lives. Come on, dang-nabbit son of a gun. Do what I'm telling you to do, computer. Okay, whatever. Anyway, these are major arcanums. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so here's the deal. What I said about this betrayal, in this reconciliation, I feel for my Cappies, there is a huge chance that this very well could be a sense of self-betrayal. And you guys, if you were to say a reconciliation with the self, the reconciliation with the self would be an integration, if you will, because with morality, this is speaking about like your values in so many words. If you don't know, like the 10 commandments of every individual human's life is what your core values are. If you don't know what they are, I'm literally putting like something up on my site. I'll keep you guys posted. Everyone on my network has it. If you join the network, you'd have it like today. But every single person I encounter, whether it's my clients, whether like it's you guys, it's my members on the network or what have you, I'm always stressing the importance of knowing what your core values are, because your moral code as an individual human is based on what your core values are. So why this relates to this self-betrayal you guys may be feeling, right? Or if you were betrayed by another person, whether you betrayed yourself or another person betrayed you, it's because your core values were violated, right? It's something that you stand for, that when you come out of agreement with that, whether via your own choices or the choices of another human, you're going to feel a sense of betrayal because you stepped out of alignment with yourself in so many words. So the energy you guys are coming into the month of May with aligns with something that may very well have happened in April for you guys, where there was a violation of your core values, right? Now, I feel how it is you guys are coping with that. There's a sense of like recklessness here with the Fool in the reverse. The call on you guys' life is to take a chance to step out on faith, to walk by faith and not by sight, if you will. Little, religious colloquialism for you guys there. That's what the call on your life is, because there is a new beginning that's literally right around the corner for you guys. But I feel because of this feeling of self-betrayal, and I'm getting a whole nother message, because of this feeling of self-betrayal that you guys are feeling, it's almost like how you're responding to it is like in rebellion, if that makes sense. So, and I said this to another sign before, you guys, I can't remember, it was Libra that I said this to, where I was telling them there's like some sense of disappointment or something not working out for them, or them just feeling like their life is boring and monotonous, and them being confused and lost and not really knowing what the next step is. Like, you know, you can't go backwards, but you have no idea what the next step forward is. And I was telling them that there was the potential of a person coming into their space that, you know, is a dark distraction that offers them the opportunity to do something kind of crazy. And what I'm feeling with this Fool in the reverse, it's either being hasty, like jumping the gun, not thinking things through, like drinking way too much, or, you know, just making less than stellar decisions. And it's more or less trying to combat this energy that's happening inside of you guys. So I feel with this movement card, which would in essence be like 8 of Wands, it's like you're feeling this energy inside of you that's like, hurry up, go, go, go. You got to do something. Like, we got to move. We got to make a decision, but you don't know what that is exactly. But then what you're carrying on your back is what it is that you guys just came out of, right? And it's almost like how you're attempting to break the monotony is through this Fool in the reverse, which is this recklessness. So if we were to think about this card upright with movement, it's like if you were to attune to spirit, you would hear clearly what the blueprint is to move forward. But because this anxiety is kind of snuffing spirit out, right? These thoughts of what has happened past tense are clouding your brain. Everything that spirit is saying, you're not really hearing it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of putting yourself in a mental prison of your own making. However, with this past lives card coming out, this is something that I've been talking about all month. If you guys haven't watched the Taurus Soul Session, I strongly suggest that you do, for the simple fact that the Taurus Soul Session, it's for Tauruses, but it's also a collective reading because we're in Taurus season. So a lot of what it is that Tauruses are going through, that energy is affecting the entire collective. And I spoke in depth with them as well as with Gemini, which is the season that we're going into. So, I mean, you can watch that too if you want to, but anyway, so you have some heads up on what's about to happen. But anyway, but I spoke in depth about past lives, and specifically about past life karma, because like I said, with this eclipse that was on the 30th, we're ending a 7-year cycle that started in 2016. So we've kind of been repeating the same stuff over and over again since 2016. And a lot of that is us coming like to a head with past life karma. So even if you didn't have a crappy childhood, even if you've never been through anything in your life, there can be a certain self-perception or the way that you know, deal with and handle certain things, whether it's like, you know, self-sabotage or what have you, right? It's falling into depression, always, you know, dealing with anxiousness, fears of the future, or what have you, or there being a consistent history of people stabbing you in the back, people betraying you, right? And feeling like, you know, trying to find a way to build this, you know, tower or fort or fortress, if you will, around yourself to prevent like what's been habitually happening from happening, right? And for a lot of people, that has to do with past lives. Now, what I will say specifically for my Capricorns, I feel what you guys have been dealing with, and I'm literally, you guys know, I'm all into my childhood trauma and all that stuff. And I like to talk about those things and how we're perpetuating that unfinished business, blah, 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 right? But what I will say for my Capricorns specifically, I feel what it is that you guys are dealing with, where if there's been like something that has habitually been happening, and let's just look at the last 7 years just to make it a little easier for you, whatever it is that has happened habitually for you or to you, well, I said it right the first time, because everything that has happened to you has actually been happening for you, just, you know, throwing that out there. But anyway, but whatever it is that you guys have had habitually happen over the last 7 years, this is highlighting the fact that It's not that you just keep meeting shitty people or that all people are shitty. It's because up until, freaking January 1st of 2016, all the way up until the 30th of April, 2022, there's a very valuable lesson that was intended to be learned there. You know what I'm saying? And again, the next card that came out for you guys, I know it's not clear. It's the Beyond Illusions in the reverse, but it's Judgment in the reverse. So this is saying you guys are supposed to ascend to a higher state of being. So this is my whole point. That's why these soul sessions are so interesting to me. I feel like I keep saying the same thing over and over again for every single sign, because at the basis of this, every single sign is on this same energy signature, and it's just playing out in different ways for different people. So the whole key is here, Capricorn, you guys are supposed to ascend to a higher state of being. You're supposed to rapture your situation. You didn't learn both sides of the Likert scale from 2016 up until 2022, right? You didn't learn from 0.0, from 1 to 10 to -1 to -10, right? And a lot of us have been bouncing back and forth, wondering why the same stuff keeps happening, no matter how it is we're changing our behavior, we're learning more, we're establishing boundaries, we're living by our core values, but somehow, some freaking way, we keep meeting the same people in different bodies. The purpose of that is for your soul, is for your soul's evolution, right? That's a lesson that needed to be repeated several times because your soul needed to learn that, because that's why you came here in the first goddamn place. But the beautiful thing about it is you're in this liaison phase, this proverbial purgatory, if you will, from the 1st of May up until the 15th. And all of this stuff that has transpired in that 15-day period, none of it matters. The only thing that it matters is in the present of why it is that this Fool in the reverse is so important, is that you guys don't make irrational decisions. Because much like I told Sagittarius, it's a scary analogy, but it makes sense. It's almost as if on the 1st of May, the gates of hell have opened, right? And every single demon you can fathom in your brain has been released on planet Earth. And they have 15 days to grab as many people as they possibly can before the gates of hell closes again, right? To drag as many people as they can to hell. That's what this 15 days in between these two eclipses are, right? So what's going to happen? A lot of people with the eclipse / new moon set intentions, right? This is what I want to happen. Or, a fresh wind of spring just hit you and suddenly you're like, I want to go in this direction. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do that, right? You ignited an is not is paradigm. That's how things manifest into your life, right? But in order for you to get what it is that you intended or what you're manifesting, the is not has to manifest before the is. Why this is like perfect timing is as soon as all of us ignited this is not is paradigm, meaning I intend this. Now, the polar opposite of what I intend is going to come into my space to create a void for spirit to fill. That was the 1st of May. And the 1st of May is when the gates of, our proverbial hell opened and all these demons came on planet Earth, right? So everything that happens in between the time of the 1st through the 15th are all dark distractions, feelings of anxiety, thinking about past betrayals and being stabbed in the back, thinking about your whole lifespan, about how you keep repeating the same thing over and over again, no matter how hard you try, right? And that can bring you into a feeling, what this fly card says, of depression. But the thing that you need to know is that this is temporary, right? The reconciliation that you guys are standing on the cusp of is a reconciliation with yourself, that of which would be your higher self and your human, so that the mission of your higher self can live out through your human, because that is the whole reason why we are here in the first place, right? But in this in-between time, there's a level of a misunderstanding of what it is that's happening. So I feel what it is you guys' brains could be telling you is that shit is not going to change. Like, nothing's going to be different. And I'm tired of hoping for stuff to be different. So it can almost drive you into like losing faith and stepping into this energy of recklessness with the Fool in the reverse. And the next card, yeah, there we go. The next card that came out, I don't think you guys can see it because my autofocus is an asshole. Okay, there it is. It's the Rebel card that is in alignment with the Emperor in traditional tarot. But I'm taking this literally for what it is. we're looking at the Fool in the reverse and the Rebel card, even though my autofocus is being a day. Okay, thank you, autofocus. I just got to talk about you like you ain't shit. So with the Rebel card and the Fool in the reverse, that's the energy that I feel that you guys are in now. It's almost like Capricorns felt a sense of disempowerment because of this self-betrayal, whether it's you betrayed yourself, you fell for the okie doke, you believed something was something that it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Somebody stabbed you in the back, lied to you, whatever the case, right? But that was an is not dark distraction. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the energy that came in to kind of throw you guys off. And I feel how you guys are combating it, like this recklessness is clarified by this rebellion, because I'm not seeing this Rebel card as your traditional emperor per se. I like the way that this deck describes it, but I feel you guys are falling into the lower octave of it, to where being a rebel is a good thing because you're more or less like a revolutionary, like you're a trailblazer. It's very much Aries energy, like you're leading the charge. You're not listening to what anyone else said, not even your past would be the ideal. But I feel you guys are falling into this in the sense of trying to vindicate yourselves, because whatever this is that happened past tense, whether it be betrayal from another or self-betrayal, right? The issue that Capricorns are having is feeling a sense of disempowerment. So it's like how it is that you're getting your power back is by rebelling and being reckless. It's like not thinking things through, but I get it, because I mean, that's a normal human reaction. The whole thought is if you feel disempowered, your response to that is going to be to get your power back somehow. And this is weird that I'm thinking about this. I don't know if any of you guys know who Demi Lovato is, but Demi Lovato had like a mini docuseries that was on YouTube, right? And I'm hearing in my head what she said in the docuseries where, and I gotta wait, hold on. I gotta get an algorithm mindset because I can't say these words. She was speaking about when she was younger and someone R-worded her, right? And when she was like, you know, I think she was like high or something like that. And she said that she, you know, felt so disempowered about it. And what her thought was to get her power back from this person is she called the dude over, like smashed him, right? And then like put him out. And she felt like in her mind at that time, it's like because he disempowered her, this was her way of getting her power back, right? I'm not co-signing that by any way, shape, form, or fashion, but the energy signature of what she said is what I'm seeing here with this Fool in the reverse and the Rebel card. It's more or less you guys felt disempowered and you're like rebelling to get your power back so you feel a sense of control again. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, like I said, this energy that we're in, you don't want to do that, because that would be you making it back to 0 point on the Likert scale, and 0 point would be what judgment would be upright or beyond illusion. It's you ascending beyond the illusion, right? Seeing what it is that's really happening here. But since it's in the reverse, you're in the shadow aspect. So where you should be waiting at the 0 point, right, for your rapture, you know, for you to transcend this timeline and ascend to the next, right? It's having a dark distraction come in, all of these thoughts come in that's trying to lull you back into the -1 all the way to -10 side of the Likert scale, which would be those demons that are trying to pull you back to hell. It's trying to pull you back to this old karmic cycle, and the call is for you to transcend it. But the reason why you don't see any examples that stuff is really about to change for you and for all of us is because we're in this liaison phase, the valley of the shadow of death, between the 1st and the 15th, right? So the whole purpose of why this is happening is for you, as well as the rest of the collective, to transcend our past life karma. And that's literally the why we've been going through everything that we've been going through up until this point. And I've literally been telling everyone, Capricorn, like every sign I've done prior to you guys, from what it is that I see looking forward, it's like how stuff is about to shift in the month of June for everyone. Like It's literally what I knew about 2022. And I mean, I myself was like, Spirit, you said 2022 was going to be the year. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell is happening. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what is really going on? Oh my gosh, June 6th. Damn it. That's the day that Mercury goes direct. But that day is important. And I never realized that until just now with my guide saying it. I can't take credit for it because that day is literally 666. It's June 6th, the 6th, right? And then we're in a 6th year. So quote me on that. June 6th, 2022, which is the 6th year. That's 666. That's important. Don't be creeped out. I think it's funny. I just did that accidentally. That's hilarious. Don't be creeped out because 666 doesn't mean what it is that most people have been conditioned to believe that it is. Just, freaking Google it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but this is us breaking away from this past life karma that's literally kept us chained to our past. Now it's time for us to ascend past that. Like, if you would want to know the energy signature of this, everyone on my network knows this because I've been saying this for months. Like, I look at the judgment card, especially in the original Rider-Waite, as like the rapture, like, the story of the rapture. It's like energetically, that's literally what's happening. And it's like this pullback energy is like people rapturing, like you're slowly ascending into the air. And it's like all of these dark distractions that are trying to grab your ankle and pull you back into this old cycle. You know what I mean? Because child, look, once the gate closes, it's a done deal. Everybody gonna be stuck where they at. That's why your friend Marlo been saying, pick a goddamn side. Anywho, right. Next card that we have is exhaustion. And that's the 9 of Wands. And it's like, dude, it's fighting a losing battle. This reminds me of the poem that I wrote called The Doors of the Church Are Now Open. I'll link it below because it's literally about the times that we're in now. The reason why there's a level of exhaustion here, Capricorn, is because it's misunderstanding what's supposed to be done here, right? During the 1st through the 15th, and I know that I'm being repetitive, but I'm sorry, but anyway. But during the 1st through the 15th, dude, what we're supposed to be doing is staying in our God space and being clear on what it is that we're intending for our life and resting and hearing from spirit, listening to our intuition and things of the sort, right? It's like the doingness right now. This is not a time for doing, especially since we're in Mercury retrograde. Now is a time for being and receiving. This is not action time. This is stepping into the feminine energy, right? We're supposed to be in full receptivity mode and kind of charging up, preparing for the action that we're going to take in June. But I feel why my Capricorns may feel tuckered out and tired out, and why you guys may feel this sense of anxiety, why it is you can be having issues with your health right now, why it is that you can be falling into a sense of depression, is because you're not understanding that this is a temporary phase. Like, this is something that you called in. You don't have answers right now because you're not supposed to. So it's more or less a lack thereof of trust and faith in spirit, because you've literally done everything it is you can possibly do up to this point. And that's where faith is supposed to kick in. If you know you've done everything in 3D that you can possibly do for whatever this is that we're talking about for you guys specifically, because this isn't being specific with me because I feel there's buku of y'all that's going through buku different stuff, child. You know what I'm saying? But if you've done everything and you can sit alone in your house, right? Like, after you finish watching this damn video, if you could sit alone in your house or wherever the hell it is you are and sit here and think to yourself of whatever this situation is speaking to that you resonate with this with, if you ask yourself, have you done every possible thing that you can do? And I mean everything. Like, you've, exhausted all of your options, right? If you have, it's time to stop, be in trust, and allow that what's going to unfold for you, and have faith, trust, and know that what's going to unfold for you going forward is going to be in your highest good. You guys have the little pineapple. It's reconciliation. Everything is going to come together. And I can even tell you that, dude, because looking at this whole month, like, I mean, this whole freaking year has been insane. What's been happening energetically has been freaking insane, right? But what it is that we're on the cusp of as a collective is probably the most beautiful thing that I've seen in all of the years that I've been doing the work that I've been doing. Those of you who are familiar with my woke books, from the one in 2020 that went all the way back to 2009. You know what I'm saying? The one in 2021 that was looking at 2020 and, 2021 going into 2022. It's like looking at all of these years and things that have transpired in the collective. It's like what we're facing right now is the most beautiful thing that I have seen in decades. You feel what I'm saying? But everyone needs to be in alignment, because if you're here and even watching this, you've done some sentiment of the work, because people who don't want to work on themselves don't watch me. They do not. I'm trying to tell you, they do not. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're here and you're watching this is literally like your ancestors, your guides reaching out to you to tell you, like, don't shoot yourself in the foot. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all have done the work. Whatever this is was a dark distraction. It's like being in this kind of self-destructive energy or self-wallowing energy or overexerting yourself. It's like you've had to handle everything on your own your entire life. Many of you, this is all channeled stuff. Many of you have probably felt alone for most of your life, to where you had to be the one to save yourself repeatedly, right? If you're not going to do it, then who else is going to do it? But you're coming into a season now where this mindset stops and changes, because spirit is literally trying to show you, your freaking ancestors, you know what I'm saying? Or trying to show you, we have your back and we're trying to help you. Just allow us to help you. You know what I mean? It's like you're exhausted because you're operating outside of your human space. It's like you're trying to, play God in a sense. You're trying to control what's happening. And none of us have control. Like literally, Capricorn, no one in the collective has control right now. Even if you got psychic gifts and things, you know what I'm saying? It's like my little black cloak thing. It's like we're standing at this river. The wheel hasn't turned yet. And all we have is recycled truth. It's like when this is going to happen or what happens, that's totally up to spirit. All we can do is wait. You feel what I'm saying? But I can tell you for sure what's to come is beautiful. And you have people who are rallying behind you, ascended masters, whatever, angels, whatever it is that you believe in. You feel what I'm saying? But this exhaustion that you guys are feeling is because you're trying to operate almost like an omnipresence. You're trying to operate like the divine and control what's happening like a chess game, and you can't. It's like your deliverance is going to come in your surrender, in your release of this, in your trust and faith and knowing, after you've done everything that you can possibly do, that things are going to work out in your favor. You feel what I'm saying and whatnot or whatever, but I didn't talk too much. You know what I'm saying? So Capricorn, that has been your soul session for May. I'm going over to my network, VIMEO, Patreon, all of the places that I am, to do you guys extended, where we're going to play out the rest of these cards. And I'm gonna try to find out some information on this whole, June 6th thing. Like I know Mercury goes direct that day. If I'm not mistaken, it's either the 3rd or the 6th, but that day is hella important. I feel like it's going to be a whole slingshot effect. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're about that life, follow me on over there. But if not, I still love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends.